So here's a tutorial to help you with some of the homework from today. This is from page 400. Question number 1. So basically with these problems, we're trying to match the expressions with some of the formulas that we learned. So the double angle formulas that we learned, I'll write over here. We have sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. And then we've got cosine 2 theta is cosine squared minus sine squared. And that one matches with some other formulas. It's also the same as 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, which is also the same as 2 cos squared theta minus 1. And that's just from putting it together with sine squared plus cos squared is 1. So we take a look at the formula and we try to match. So here I can see sine theta cos theta, which is the same as 2 sine theta cos theta. The only trouble is that we don't have a 2 at the front. So if we can, we're going to make this equation look like it has a 2 in the front. So instead of having the number 8, I'm going to write that as 4 times 2. And then I've got sine 5x, cosine 5x. Now just like we saw in the notes today, when you have sine 2x, you can't just factor out the 2. This is not the same as 2 sine x. Okay, one of them is a horizontal compression, and the other one is a vertical expansion. So we actually can't just take a number out from inside of a sine. It's kind of stuck in there with the function. So when I take out a 4 from the 8, I don't also have to factor it out from the sine. Okay, the number inside of the sine just stays there. So now in my big brackets I've got 2 sine theta cos theta. It's just that instead of theta, I have 5x. So now I can write that bracket as sine 2 theta. It's just that instead of theta, I have 5x. So this is sine 2 times 5x, and I still have a 4 at the front. So this is 4 sine 10x. Let's try one of the harder ones. So 4 sine squared pi over 2 minus 2. So this looks a lot like this one here. 1 minus sine squared theta. If I took out a 2, then it would be 2 sine squared theta minus 1. So it's very close. It's just kind of backwards. If I took out a negative sign, then I would get 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. So I'm trying to create the formulas that I know by factoring out terms in the expressions that I'm given. So now that I've got 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, again this is the theta, I can change that to cos of 2 theta. Instead of theta, I'll just write x over 2. So this is the same as 2 cosine x. 2's cancel off. And you'd be able to see that by graphing as well. For an expression like this, I would factor it. So I would write it as, instead of cosine to the 4th, this is like a to the power 4 minus b to the power 4. So it's the difference of squares. So that's the same as a squared plus b squared times a squared minus b squared. So that would be cos squared 3x plus sine squared 3x. I should technically start with sine since the equation started with sine. So it doesn't really matter with the sine with this plus 1, but it does matter with the negative. So sine squared 3x minus cos squared 3x. Now sine squared anything plus cos squared anything is 1. And sine squared minus cos squared matches one of the formulas that I learned today. Sine squared minus cos squared is almost cosine 2 theta. It's just the negative sign is in the wrong place. So this is the same as negative cosine squared blah minus sine squared blah, which is the same as cosine 2 blahs. So I'm just replacing the 3x with theta and trying to make the equation match up. So if I do 1 times that expression, it doesn't change it. So this is negative cosine 6x. And some of the ones with tangent and cotangent are a little bit more tricky. So you might want to use some of the other formulas that we learned. For example, this one's very similar to the tan 2 theta formula. Tan 2 theta was 2 tan x, or 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan squared theta. So the problem is everything works, the thetas are the same, it's just that we have an 8 at the front, and we need that to be a 2 instead. So we could break it up into 4 times 2. Tan 4x over 1 minus tan squared 4x. So now we fit the equation to the pattern of our formula. And so now I can simplify that by writing it as tan 2 theta. And instead of theta, I'll put whatever was inside of my function. So that would be 4 tan 8x.